Salute, salute. Salute to the internal indigenous spiritual most high. Trolls only God and your mama can love you. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, one time, yeah. In remembrance of Jimmy McNair, Beaver, brother in the cut. Here we go. Where's me gold? I needs me shillings so I can troll. Man, all right, y'all. We got another one. By now, I'm sure everyone's heard of the unaliving of 18-year-old Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells was a very smart, brilliant young man, ambitious. He was the life of the party, very entertaining. He was quite a ladies' man, so they say. The only problem is Noah wasn't comfortable. Well, Nolan didn't seem too comfortable in his own skin. Okay, so Nolan hung around people who didn't look like him. It's almost like we're talking about Carmelo Anthony all over again. And this is not to shame this brother. It's just some people are like this. Your parents have money. They think they're going to do their children justice. And they're going to be raised better if they move them out to these HOAs around, you know, YT people who really don't like them and want them there. And then things like this happen. Um, so Nolan goes out with not one, not two, but three of his so-called friends who didn't look like him. Those three friends come back. Nolan does not. Those three friends don't know anything about the disappearance of Nolan Wells, but somehow they have his cell phone. Nolan Wells' body was discovered by a fisherman and identified by his mother and his grandfather as well. Nolan Wells was found deceased 2 days later. These guys don't know anything, right? And no one in Nolan's family bothered to have this talk with him about, hey, you can't continue to be the only raisin in the potato salad, or I'm not comfortable with you being the only raisin in the potato salad. You know, when you start to resent who you are and you want to be validated and feel important, you start to hang around people who don't look like you, who's not going to accept you. We know that we're genuine. We'll invite anyone to the cookout, but they're not. They are not going to do it. And here's the kicker: we know that had one white guy going out with three black men, that one white guy had no choice but to come back because we'd be like, hell no, man. We don't need them saying we did something to you. They even put us under the jail. He's going to come back safe and sound with those three black brothers. No doubt about it. But you take one black kid and put him in the midst of three young YT kids, teenagers, and he's the only one not to come back. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Had this been, we find ourselves saying this a lot, but if the roles were reversed, if this was one white guy amongst three black men, y'all know that white guy coming back. Y'all know he's coming back. Brothers will be out there fighting lions and tigers and bears and everything, protecting that white guy. Saying, no, we got to make sure you come back because we don't need them thinking that we did something to you. You know what I'm saying? This and that. We ain't trying to get Carmelo Anthony around here. We're going to make sure he comes back. But you send one brother who forgets he's black out with three YTs whose parents are going to let them forget that he's black and never let them forget that they're white. and he's the only one that doesn't return. And it's simple. I don't know. It's all it took. We don't even know these three guys' names. Let's get into it. This is Antonio talks. Let me raise this point too. Allegedly, I believe that this was an answer in a response to the loss of Austin Metcalf and the life of old Bart. We saw what happened down in North Broward, in the Walmart parking lot. You know, we saw what happened. I definitely believe this was a response. I believe this was an answer. I believe this was a legit payback, y'all. Let's go.
So today we're gonna be talking about a tragic situation involving a missing 18-year-old boy by the name of Nolan. On July 4th, while at a outing with his friends, later that night, everybody returned home but him. Sadly, about an hour ago, we got news that his body was found and he is deceased. Now, I pretty much want to just dive into this case from what little knowledge that we do know already, and also get my opinion on it, because it's a conversation that must be had with a lot of my black parents. As you can see from the photos, Nolan was the only black person in this group, and this is a coincidence that we see time and time again. There was a story with a young lady who went to a sleepover with her all-white friends and ended up dead. There was another situation with a similar to this where a young man was on a boat and he ended up dead, the only one. I'm going to talk about these stories later, but it just reinforces my thing of like, stop being the only black friend. There is nothing wrong with having white friends. But as we keep seeing time and time again, when you're the only black friend, there are no other black people in that friend group, things don't look too well. Now, I want to go in chronological order with this case. So with that being said,
you cannot be the only raisin in the potato salad. Cannot be the only raisin in the potato salad. If you are the only raisin in the potato salad, get out like the movie. Something is wrong and something ain't right, and it's not going to be right for you. It's not going to be right for you. I don't know why some black people think that they're safer around people other than black people. Let me say that again. I don't know why some black people think that they are safer around other people than around black people. Who do you think is going to march, protest, put you on a t-shirt, send you bond money, fight for you? Who do you think has been through the same thing that you're going through? Huh? Who? Who? But you want validation. You're not comfortable being black. Being black embarrasses you because deep down inside, I guess you was born white. They say people are born gay. I don't believe that, but that's what they say. So maybe you could be black and be born white. Is that what I'm supposed to believe too? We need to start talking to our children. See, let me break something down to y'all, man. Let me break something down to y'all, man. When we were growing up, the white people of yesterday, the white people of yesterday, man. Y'all, hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a moment. All right, thank you for y'all patience, y'all. That was about business. I'm trying to get this fifth wheel on the back of my truck. Okay. Now my thing is, we have to have these talks. We cannot continue to let our children be the only ones, in the midst of all of this. And if y'all think that racist YT America is not going to hit back and answer back quick, you know, they just lost Austin. And this just happened in Broward County. Shay, Money Mike, how you doing, brother? And it's happening in Broward. You know about the young lady standing her grounds down here. Oh yeah, they're very dissatisfied. They're very dissatisfied. And it's all about discourse, sacrifices, and purges at this point, allegedly. Allegedly. But we know that these people are not going to take this lying down. We may be taking over their Facebook social media groups, but they're still taking lies. Make no mistake about it. They are still taking black lives. Danielle Berry Sports Highlights. What's good? What's good? They are still taking black lives. Y'all, this was not an accident. There's no way that one black kid goes out with three white kids and he doesn't make it back. And here's what I was saying before I asked y'all to hold on. See, the white people of yesterday that we grew up with, and when we were growing up, if anyone's in my age group or older, it was more racist times in America then than now. Okay. But somehow, regardless of race, all of us had our white friends, and we became brothers and sisters and we bonded and we became family. And like I said, you go over their house, spend the night as kids, their moms treat you just like a mom. Their dads treat you just like a dad. They come over your house, your mom treat them like a mom, your dad treat them like a dad, and it was brotherhood. If all of us decided to go out, it's not the fact that hey, one is not going to come back, but the three, if the majority of the same race is, everyone's going to come back. And if one person was fighting, everybody was fighting. If one person had beef and you wanted to square up with somebody in our crew, regardless of race, we all put it on you, whether you was black and or white. If we was out with our white friends fought with us, we fought with our white friends. Those were our brothers, still are our brothers. And that's how me and drunk Uncle Matmu came along. And we're still like that to this day. But see, we had to know the parents of our friends back then. Nowadays, parents are just telling their children, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, sure, go ahead. They're not getting to know the Nazi parents of these children nowadays. So, the white people we grew up with that we consider to be our brothers and our sisters, they are the same ones out here now helping us fight against racism and disavowing what's going on racially in this country. These new age white men, well, nope, they don't represent all the white people, y'all. They don't. They don't. This is a special breed right here because I guarantee you the white people of my day that grew up with me, they're just as pissed as we are about the disappearance and the death of this brother right here, this young man right here, Nolan Wells. You better believe it. So there you have it. Let's go.
We got to start off with his mother and the post that she had made on Facebook announcing all of this. Now, this is his mother, and I believe that she is Filipino and half black. I'm not really sure. And I believe that this is his father. Now, Nolan comes from a great two-parent household. I believe they make great money. And this is something that we do see within the black community where a lot of parents feel like raising their black children in these all white spaces would do them good. When the whole time it actually does the opposite. A lot of these kids deal with racism, bullying, microaggressions, right? And they end up having this low self-esteem. They end up hating themselves. And I love using the analogy of Carlton in The Prince of Bel-Air, the reboot. There was a scene where Will walks into the locker room and Carlton's in there dancing around with his white friends and they saying the N-word and Will busting there like, hold on, what the fuck you got going on, bro? Why are you letting them say the N-word? And Carlton is like, hey, man, it's not that big of a deal, you know what I'm saying? And then Will is like, no, they need to cut that shit out. And as a viewer watching that, a lot of people might have automatically just got onto Carlton and say, oh yeah, he's a raccoon, he's this, he's that. But I look at it in the perspective of him, man. Like, think about it. He probably went to that school. His first day there, they was being racist, doing all these type of things to him, and he kept on fighting back. By the end of that year, he pretty much got tired of fighting. I mean, I can't fight y'all every day. I'm just gonna have to get used to it. So that tends to end up happening with these black kids in these all white environments. They end up becoming docile. They have to end up just taking this stuff all for the better education. Please be on the lookout for Nolan. Last seen was West Tip, north side of Horn Island today around 3 p.m. July 4th, wearing blue shorts and sunglasses. It's unclear if he made it back on land. Please message me if you have seen him or information.
King Fire, what's good? What's good, King Fire? Peace, love, uncut. Try, we out here. We out here all day, all day, all night, all night. We out here.
About his whereabouts or after 4 p.m. So he was missing since July 4th around 3 p.m. Nobody's seen him since then. Nolan has not been found. His father and I have his cell phone, so friends who are seeing his location is because we have it. Katie has contacted me. We are currently at Horn Island. We are looking for any information other than what we already know. Please DM if you have any additional information. So they had his phone. From what I heard, I believe his friends.
How are you with three friends and y'all, when they got where they were going, he was like, I think I saw one other black person out there with everyone else. Y'all, they were the only two raisins in the midst of lots of potato salad. Okay. They're out there in the water. You know most black people can't swim. I can. I don't know about his situation, but I would imagine he was able to swim or something. I don't know. But there's been too much of a racial divide in this country to be letting our babies hang out specifically with people who don't look like them. These people are using an N word in their homes. They're mad about Austin Metcalf. They're mad about what happened in Broward. You know, they're upset. And you're allowing your children to hang around their children as if their children aren't hearing the vile things and raised to say and believe and exercise the same vile manners and views that they are exercising. You don't think that those children are a mirror reflection of the parents and how they feel with their politics? And you're comfortable letting your child, who should be comfortable with the skin that they are in, hang out with these people right now? I mean, right now in a country that just changed congressional voting maps, how they just took over the districts. You mean in the same country to where black people can't get a hate bill, a hate crime bill, you know? And this is another reason why we need a hate crime bill, but everyone else can get one, but not us. A goddamn sea turtle can get a hate crime bill before we can. They can get protection before we can. We've heard of a sister lynched on Juneteenth down in Miami. I think her name was Tuleo Miller or something like that. You know, at what point, man, do we see things for what it is? Now, I'm not telling y'all it's all YT people, but what I am telling y'all is it's the YT people. You understand what I'm saying? It's the YT people. This is sad. We cannot, if you're going to sit down and you're going to have the talk with your children about how you encounter the police and safe sex and everything else. You need to be having your talk with your young black, you know what I'm saying, children about who they hang around, how to be more observant, make sure more of us are around just in case things don't go straight with them because we know that these people have a history of this type of behavior. This type of behavior. He's out with three people. They come back, it's just three of them, and no one's arrested. No one knows nothing. No one know what happened, but they happen to have his cell phone. And then they just identify his body today that was found by a fisherman 2 days later. See, black people, I told y'all, you had no reason being out there celebrating that damn 4th of July. That wasn't your thing to celebrate anyways. They tell you that slavery was so long ago, where those same people are out there celebrating July 4th, 1776. How long ago was 1776, ladies and gentlemen? Wasn't that long ago too? The same people tell you slavery was so long ago, you know, but it ended in 1865, which is more recent than 1776. But they are still out here celebrating. Why are you out here celebrating that? Why are you out here celebrating that?
Nolan gave his friends his phone before he. This is the story is very weird. Then she ended up posting some pictures. As you see Nolan right here. This is him on the left. This is him right here in the middle. Once again, this is him in the middle with all of his white friends, and they are drinking beer. Alcohol was involved. One of the top comments. This is interesting. My dad wouldn't let me go on a cabin trip with coworkers when I was a teen because I was the only black person. He might have saved my life with that. I didn't even read the story, but when I saw the picture, I knew the end. This reminds.
Oh, he saved your life. And I told y'all, man, you can take one white guy, one white boy, and put him in the midst of 3, 4, 5, 6 black teenagers, and I guarantee you, those black people are gonna make sure that one white guy come back before they black ass come back. Because we already know if something happens to old Shay Whitey, we're cooked. We're cooked. So we got to make sure you safe. We got to damn near give our life to save your life to keep everybody else from getting cooked and incarcerated if something happens to you. So one white guy out with black guys, you're coming back. But one black guy out with white guys, oh no, and no one's getting arrested, and it's not going to be investigated, and and they're just going to sweep it under the rug. What are they going to say? He drowned. We're still finding black people hanging all over the world, and they're considering this stuff self-inflicted. What black person is going to do that? What black person is going to do that? It is not the same. These YT people of today are not the same YT people of yesterday that we grew up with, that we know and love. This is a different breed. And even the white people of yesterday that we grew up with, that we know and love, will tell you the same thing about these white people today. They are different. They are different. They are different.
Of this story, those boys who know what happened speak up. And this is the event that I just talked about. It reminded me of this right away.
First thing I'm going to say is I would never leave without the full head count of my friends. That is rule number one. We don't get off no damn island. We don't get onto no boat. We don't do nothing until we have every last person that we came with all in one place. You mean to tell me that no one took account for Nolan Xavier Wells before y'all got back on that boat to go back to the main island? Something's not adding up. 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells was last seen on July 4th with his friends on Horn Island. Parents are looking for him nonstop. They just want to find their son. Now, the U.S. Coast Guard and the Cajun Navy are looking for Nolan. The Cajun Navy commander said that he was last seen with a team before he disappeared. They found his phone, but they did not find him. And if this is his friend group, I'm not going to lie. I don't have that much faith in finding this boy alive. Because like I said before, there's no way in hell I would hop on a boat to go home and not all of my friends are accounted for. Y'all didn't give a fuck about him whatsoever. And there's somebody out there that was part of that friend group that knows what the fuck happened. But everybody's locking the fuck up. Now I'm trying to.
And to add context, this was a small town in Mississippi, y'all. Miss a motherfucking sippy. You know what I'm saying? And they love to gaslight and just make it seem like we crazy. Even going back to the Kendrick Johnson case. So y'all remember that brother, man, who was found dead in a rolled up mat. They said it was a freak accident because he was, you know what I'm saying? These people know what's going on. They will always cover up and stand.
They'll always get away with it, but we not gonna get away with it. They got mad about OJ. That's why they really got Carmelo. That's why they really got Carmelo. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no black man willing going exactly. Ain't exactly nobody. And they called it, y'all. They are getting even. I think this was an answer to the life of Austin Metcalf. I think this was an answer to what they saw, that young lady standing her ground. in North Broward County, Florida, over that in the Walmart parking lot. I believe Nolan was a sacrifice, y'all. There is no way you're gonna put that one black person around all those white people, man. All those white people, man. He was man. When I tell you, it was only maybe one or two raisins and all that potato salad on that Horn Island. Oh man, I would have been nervous. I would have been nervous. You hear me? I wouldn't. I could. There's no way I would have felt comfortable. I don't care how good of friends we are. I feel out of place. You know what I mean? And nah, man. Like nah, no.
There is no matter what.
Keep the faith that this boy's just sitting there lost on this island and, he fell asleep or some shit. But 9 times out of 10, we already know how this shit goes, especially with a friend group like that.
Yeah.
My prayers go out to Nolan's mother and father and his family and friends. I hope I come with a better update.
A body has been found at Horn Island. This is the update I did not want to give, but we kind of already felt like it was coming. Although they have not identified it as Nolan Xavier Wells, who else can it be? Some more information that I found out that Nolan walked off with a girl. Where is this girl? What is her name? What has she said? Second, it's kind of funny how Nolan left his phone. No teenager leaves their phone. No teenager, because they like to document everything. So how was his phone left? Second, this woman said that a girl put a message talking about these boys in this picture are no good. They needed to be investigated. She goes to school with them, or she went to school with them. Another girl that was at Horn Island said these boys were partying in the pool at 7 o'clock. Nolan went missing at 3.
Wow.
You mean to tell me you didn't know there was a black speck missing out the group? Nobody was searching for him at 7 o'clock. Yeah, shit's not adding up. No, mom always had a rule. If ain't no...
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I have to remind you that we are still planning for this trip to Texas, So if you would like to help support that trip to Texas, the Cash App is available. Please send that exclusively through the Cash App. Please hit the like button as you come in and the subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. Definitely need that, hype the video. Tribe, if you rock with me, y'all already know. If your name in blue, I know I can count on you. You know what I mean?
Black folks going, you ain't going either. Because we can never trust them to look out for us. I'm not blaming anybody for this shit, but things are not looking right. Once again, my prayers go out to the family and the friends of Nolan Xavier Wells. I'm waiting on the identification.
And sadly, y'all that
better
body was
believe
him. His mother made a Facebook post. She said, I want to thank our family, friends, community, United Cajun Navy, local law enforcement, everyone involved for all the love, support, and resource over the last few days. His father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated. My heart's broken for my sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. And I ask that you please give me and my family time to grieve. Now, y'all, let's talk.
Okay, well, let me say this. You can have all the time in the world to grieve, but I need you to understand this. They knew what they were going to do to your son before they even got on that boat. Before July 4th even got here, and you told Nolan he can go. They already knew, and everyone else who was accompanying them too and was going to be at Horn Island already knew that this brother was going to be a sacrifice. All right? Too much has happened in between, y'all. Y'all have to think this woman just stood her ground down here in Fort Lauderdale. They're not happy about that. They're not happy that they haven't filed charges yet. All right. They're not happy about Carmelo. They wanted Carmelo to get the death penalty. They wish Austin was still here. They play these games. Y'all know they are eye for eye type people. I really believe this was a hit back and answer, payback for the equivalence of whatever you want to call it. This was retribution. This is retribution. They already knew what they were going to do. You mean to tell me you could find all these black people hanging and you could find black people with their organs missing when this was happening with the truck drivers and stuff, and all this stuff is self-inflicted. What black man you know is going to hang himself? Huh? What black man you know is going to drown himself? I remember when that story broke with Obama's chef Safari. You know, and Safari was able to swim. They found Safari unalive from drowning. You know, right there by the White House. I think somewhere by or not the White House, or maybe um one of Obama's, what do you call it, man? Properties. One of their properties. Okay, y'all can look that up. Look that up. The Obama Chef Safari. Yeah, same thing, man. They say this brother drowned, but yet he was an excellent swimmer. How the hell he drowned? How the hell did he drown? I ain't heard of Michael Phelps drowning yet. You know what I'm saying? I ain't heard of that yet. I need more information and investigation for me to have educated. Oh, we gonna get it. Hey, listen, I'm gonna pour it on. I'm gonna pour it on. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna pour it on.
Talk about the case of Tamala Horford in this photo right here, where she was with all of her white friends during a sleepover. It says 40-year-old Tamala Horford left her husband and 5 sons after cooking them dinner to attend a friend's birthday party. And this is her family, man. Lovely, beautiful black family. Her friend Janine Myers had invited a group of moms who met at a football league to spend the night at hers so they could have a drink. Tamala arrived at 8:30 p.m. on November 3rd, 2018, with a bottle of tequila and an overnight bag. There were 12 people altogether, 9 women and 3 husbands. It was originally meant to be a girls' night, but some of the husbands stuck around. Only 8 of the guests were planning to stay over. The group of women drank, socialized, and watched football upstairs, while the men watched football in the basement. After the football, the group drank and played Cards Against Humanity. Tamala looked happy in the pictures and the videos that were taken by the group. Tamala was drinking tequila. She was the only smoker and would go out to regularly smoke alone. She also smoked weed that night, but Janine asked her not to. She also teased during the conversation, calling her the female Bob Marley. The guests who weren't staying began to leave at 11:30. The others slowly went to bed over the next couple of hours. According to interviews, Tamala was the last one to go to bed. She was last seen by one of the women who was picked up by her husband. Tamala said she was going to have a cigarette and to go to bed. That was at 1:47 a.m. Over the next 10 minutes, the home security registered the back door opening and closing and then opening again one last time at 1:57 a.m. In the morning, Tamala was found laying down in the garden. The group called the police and she was pronounced dead at the scene. Janae had been the one to call 911, and she had said on the phone that she thinks Tamala may have fallen off the second-story balcony while drunk. Police also worked that theory. A medical examiner found that Tamala's blood alcohol contents was 3 times the legal limit. She also tested positive for THC. An unlit cigarette and lighter was found on the balcony, supporting the theory, but it was never tested for other people's fingerprints. They concluded she lost her balance because she was drunk and fell over. It was ruled an accident, and the case was closed. But Tamala's family had more.
That's BS. That's BS. See, when it comes to us around them, we're never safe. But them around us, hell, we invite them to the cookout. We invite them to, we, listen, man, these people wish we were as violent as they are. These people wish we were as hostile and nefarious as they are. These people wish we were the thugs that they try to paint us to be. This is all projection. This is them. It's them all day. It's them all day. We simply don't do stuff like this. We simply don't do stuff like this. It's not our way. It's not our culture. We simply don't do things like this.
Questions and answers. How did a woman whose cause of death was falling due to being so drunk when the party attendees said that she didn't appear drunk in their interviews? She also didn't look drunk on the photos/videos taken. How did a house full of people not hear the fall right outside their window? Why did the door open at 2 a.m. and was left open if Tamala went to bed? Why didn't the police preserve the scene and test the evidence immediately? Janine's husband said he saw the unit cigarette before he saw Tamala's body, but no evidence was tested in the case. Most shocking of all, Tamala's autopsy showed blunt force trauma to her head, neck, torso, abrasions to her face, cuts on her arms, legs, and laceration to her heart.
But they're going to say that's all. Listen, that's all subject to her falling. That's what they're going to say. That is all subject to her falling, the cause of her death.
Could a 15-foot fall cause all these types of injuries? Tamla's friends have also said that they have gotten inconsistent stories from the group when she has spoken to them. Suspicions were further raised in 2019 when Janine's husband, who is a parole officer, was fired after he used his position to illegally access Tamla's incident report file. The case was reopened in 2020, but it concluded that no charges will be filed in the case. And this is a video from that night.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sean. Happy birthday to you.
It's sad, but I want us to use these horrible circumstances to learn from them. In 2026, man, a lot of people want to live in this fairy tale, kumbaya type of world where everything is sunshine and rainbows. But we got to live in reality.
Got to live in reality. Got to start talking to our children. We have to start being more observant. You know what I'm saying? That sounded real fishy, didn't it? And it was 3 husbands there and like 8 or 9 women, and she is the only black chick. And this is like parents of children of the football team. There was only one black guy on a football team. What the hell? We know they ain't win too many games. We know they ain't win too many games. You know what I'm saying? We know they ain't win too many games. Yo, y'all keep thinking that you're not safe around your own people. Sometimes the only reason you survive is because of your own people. You know? If he was around his own people, he'd be here. You can trust your own people. You can't trust people who've never liked you, who have a legacy and a lineage. You know, that all goes against the betterment of you. This is what it is. This is what it is, y'all. I believe this was an answer to and payback for, allegedly, the life of Austin Metcalf and for this young lady down here who stood her ground in Broward County, you know, when she plugged Bart, y'all. She made Bart do the Bart man. I believe that's what this is, y'all. Okay, I'm going to give y'all a whole different take. This take right here. This is by the Gentleman's Den, and this is going to get a little deep, y'all. Now, this one's going to get deep. This one's going to get deep. Let's hit that like button, please, ladies and gentlemen. Let's run this one up. Let's run this one up. They still mad about Nicole and Ron. Hey, yeah, definitely. You better believe it.
I was a teen mom. One day after school, I ended up going into labor. Alan was.
And these people want you to do everything and trust them. They'll come here and be like, oh, you sound like you're a tree tar and you sound crazy. They want you to trust them. They want you to look past what you know of them and trust them. And then that's when they get your ass too. You better not trust. You better not trust. You better listen, man. Don't let your guard down. Do not let your guard down. They'll come in here and try to disarm you, you know, and tell you, no way, we're not like that. And you sound crazy. And it's 2026. It's 2026. Y'all see where Nolan Wells just came from? Y'all see what just happened to Nolan Wells? It's 2026. See what that young lady just had to do down there in Broward County? It's 2026. See the verdict they just gave you for Rick Chow and Cyrus Carmack Belton? It's 2026. And we saw footage of what Austin and Hunter did to Carmelo. And you see what they just did to Carmelo? It's 2026. Y'all just hear about the young lady from Detroit or wherever it was that supposedly came down here on Juneteenth in Florida and they found her hanging in Miami. But it's 2026, y'all. It's 2026. But on July 4th, all those Confederate little Nazis marched on Washington, D.C., didn't they? Didn't they? But it's 2026, and we're supposed to trust their evil asses, right? We're supposed to trust them. Huh? We see everything that they do, and we know their history, but we're supposed to trust them, right? It's 2026. Damn that. Same lineage of evil. Same lineage of evil. Even black people knew OJ was, but the system let him go. That means he wasn't guilty. If the glove, hey, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. I'm never gonna call that man guilty. I'm never gonna. Maybe that's the only time the system actually worked. Maybe that's the only time the system actually worked. I'm not saying OJ didn't have anything to do with it. I'm just saying that he couldn't have been the one to do it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying OJ couldn't have had anything to do with it. I'm just saying he wasn't the one to do it. You know, if the glove don't fit, hey, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. You remember that OJ had this best friend, this white guy named Kato or something like that? Kato Kalin or something. Yeah. I ain't saying that OJ ain't have nothing to do with it. I'm just saying I don't think OJ was the one that did it. And I'm really starting not to think that I don't know. I'm starting to think that Carmelo it's hard for me to think that Carmelo actually did that to Austin, but every time I want to doubt that, I think about the fact that if I didn't do that to someone, I would have testified on my own behalf. So I just read a little on the info on Nolan Wells was missing from her family trip over the 4th. Correct. 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 That's him in the thumbnail with his friends. The thumbnail of my live stream, that's him.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on.
Okay, and this is the Gentleman's Den. Y'all go subscribe. Definitely like the video. This is the Gentleman's Den. Subscribe, like the video. Fair use, educational purposes, literary purposes. Now this thing is gonna get deep. Y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to hit the like button. I'm gonna need y'all to hit the like button. Let's run it up, y'all, because this thing is gonna get deep. Let's hit that like button, please. Let's hit that like button, please. Let's take a second. You know, pay attention to your like button. If it's not lit up, please press that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Please press that like button. It's free to press the like button. Justin, what's good, Justin?
On YouTube. But we are back in the building. We're just gonna pick up where we left off, right? As you guys heard the news article, I'm actually going to play it again. But these are the people that Nolan was with, right? Nolan was with 3 white boys, and he was the only black person when they went out on this boat trip, right? And only 3 came back. But then again,
the only raisin in the potato salad. Y'all are going on a boat trip. You know how easy it is for you to hide me out there in that ocean? If they have a hard time finding you on land when you're missing, they ain't gonna never really find you in the ocean unless you wash up. You know, I'll take my chances with you doing whatever you're gonna do to me on land, because out there in that water, oh man, that is one big cemetery right there. And there's lots of things that can dispose of you out there too. You know what I'm saying? But the motive is they're still mad about Austin Metcalf. The motive is they still pissed off about this sister standing her ground in Fort Lauderdale. I mean, in Fort Lauderdale, down at that Walmart. But these people are mad. They don't like the fact that black people are out here taking the lives of white people, man. Y'all got to understand this. Just because we think we got one up, these people are planning their next move every time. They are going to hit back every time. Y'all say what y'all want to say and think what you want to think. These people are going to hit back every time strategically. Strategically, y'all think we got one up. Hell no, that was a sacrifice. That was a sacrifice. That was a sacrifice. I'm telling you, that's what that was. That was a sacrifice. That's payback. That was an answer to what Carmelo did to Austin. That was an answer to what you just saw happen in Broward and the fact that they haven't filed any charges on that young lady and they're actually calling it self-defense right now. They're not appreciating that. They're not appreciating that. There was one time in this country, you better not raise your hand on somebody white. There was one time in this country that somebody black could not own a firearm, regardless if you had felonies or not, because white people were afraid that you would actually pull them or you would turn them on them. They weren't having it. That's why they look at black people right now when they assemble in open carry states. When they look at you, they're scared. They want to call the police. It's the same Second Amendment right they fight for, but they don't want you to have that Second Amendment right because they know what they've done to us and they never want to be that target the way they've always targeted us with their GUNs. Y'all, this stuff is simple. This is not elementary. Come on, man. This is not rocket science. This is not rocket science. Allegedly, this was a hit back. That young brother was a sacrifice. You tell all them white people. See, y'all are just focused on the 3 white brothers that he left with. There's videos from them on that island, and it's all white people in boats. And man, like it looked like a white million man march, you know what I'm saying, in the sea. In the sea. I think I saw one other black person other than Carmelo, but that black person was over with Carmelo, I believe. And all of them felt some type of way, and they see that one raisin out here in the midst of all this potato salad, and they done seen all this stuff that people talk on social media. You know what I'm saying? And these are the people that's coming in our social media platforms saying the racist things they're saying. And you think they're gonna let Nolan swim in and swim out safely? Huh? 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 Hell no. That's why we still finding Nemo right now. Huh? We just found Nemo. We just found Nolan. They were not going to seize that. They weren't going to miss that opportunity. They were not going to miss that opportunity. I'm telling you. They were not going to miss that opportunity. They just put the ball back in our court is what they did, allegedly. And I'm not trying to condone any violence. I'm speaking logic, man. I'm letting y'all know that that was a hit. That was a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? That was a sacrifice. That was a hit. That was an answer for Austin's life. Y'all, that wasn't a little brother. That brother was like 6'1", 6'2".
The news article said that people should come forward if you know anybody, but they haven't mentioned that they are questioning the 3 white boys that was with Nolan when he went out there on his boat trip, and those 3 came back without Nolan, and they didn't even notify authorities.
You know, if you were one of the group that was with him, or if you were on the island and you were there and saw anything, please don't be afraid to come forward and tell the authorities exactly what you know, no matter what you might think might be some consequences or whatnot. But it's very important right now in these critical moments that we get truthful, confirmable information.
He said truthful. You're not going to get the truth out of these people. And they don't practice accountability either. They do not practice accountability. Y'all, this is going to be another cold case. This is going to be another unsolved thing. They're going to say he probably fell over and drowned because most black people can't swim. They're going to sweep this under the rug too. This family will not get any justice. Any justice. Any justice. I'm going to be honest. I think that brother was able to swim, man. His mom was Philippine. They had money. The dad was black. That boy probably had all kind of swimming lessons. Probably had. I'm telling you, he was a regular little Carmelo Anthony around here, man. Everybody's so quick to move up out the hood, but moving to their hood don't mean you good. You lessen your chances of survival by moving out in their hood. I think they sacrificed him, J Dub. I think they sacrificed him. I think that was a hit back. You're around a bunch of angry YT people who's still mad about Austin Metcalf, who's even more pissed that this just happened down in South Florida at this Walmart. You know, yeah, I think that was their answer. I think that was clapback, allegedly. I think that was clapback. Because that's what white people do. What you mean, why? When have you not done it? It was just a sister hanging in Miami. Black people don't hang themselves. Y'all close that out. Oh, it's self-inflicted. No, it's not. Brother get rolled up in the mat. Kendrick Johnson, I think his name was. Rolled up in the mat in Georgia. That's self-inflicted too. No foul play. Truck drivers go to missing. Organs missing. No foul play. That's all natural too. Are you kidding me? 3 white boys just go out on a boat with a black boy, and all 3 white boys come back without the black boy, but they got his cell phone and nobody knows what happened. Are you kidding me? Everybody just saw them white twins attack Carmelo Anthony, regardless of how Carmelo responded, and y'all still can't say that that white boy was wrong for putting his hands on Carmelo. And we're supposed to, you're asking me why? You're asking me why? That's what I was saying. The white people we got along with back then, our white people of yesterday are not the white people of today. You can trust our white people of yesterday. If they say they got your back, they got your back. These white people of today, they on some nasty MAGA racist type Donald Trump type time, man. You can't trust these people, man. You can't trust them. You can't. These people ain't gonna go off code and off script for you against their own. Hell no, they gonna keep it hush hush. They used to unaliving us. This is how it should be. That's how they look at it. This is how it should be. That restores the natural order to them. But when we do it to them, oh, that's a problem. And now they're gonna do exactly what they just did to Carmelo Anthony, 35 years, in the midst of giving Case and Allison just 10 years. That's what they do. If 3 black guys had gone out with 1 white guy and this was reversed, they gonna make sure that white boy return. They gonna fight tooth and nail to make sure that white boy come back on that boat. You know why? Because if anything happens to that white boy, everybody knows that that white man was on that boat with they black ass. And we don't need nobody questioning us and accusing us of nothing. You know what I'm saying? We got too much to sacrifice. We ain't with it. Hey, Shay Whitey, bring your ass on now. Come on now. Hey, Tyler, bring your ass on now. Come on now. We ain't playing. Get your ass on this boat. We got to get back. We don't need them asking no questions. You put a black man on a boat with 3 white boys, and he's food to them. He's prey. He's prey. Real talk. Real talk.
Now, the family and also Jackson County Sheriff's Department is looking for any information or any photos or videos that could have helped and could help pinpoint a timeline out there on the island on July 4th. If you were out there celebrating on Horn Island on Independence Day and you have anything that you feel like could prove or point to a person or timeline, it is asked that you send that in to the Jackson County Sheriff's Department.
But my question is, why are y'all not asking the people that he was with? Like, I get it. It could be somebody else that was out there, on this boat.
And get this, one of the guys that he was with, their mom is a judge. Their mom is a judge in that county. One of the friends that he was with has a mom that is a judge in that county, ladies and gentlemen. Exactly. Exactly. Where have we saw this before? When someone had a friend who might be a judge as well. Where did we just see this with Carmelo? Ladies and gentlemen, the research I'm giving you, you can look this stuff up and find it. Y'all know I'm going to tell you the truth. One of their parents were judges. So you better bet that they've already told all them children, don't open your damn mouth. You better not say a word. Carmelo messed up when he opened his mouth. He shouldn't have said a word. Y'all already know that she's instructed those children not to say a damn word. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Y'all, this was clapback. I'm telling y'all, this was clapback, allegedly. I ain't trying to stir nothing up. I come in peace. You know what I mean? I don't condone any violence. I'm just giving my psychoanalysis, my opinion. I believe this was clapback, y'all.
Trip, other people around, they probably could have seen what happened. But the people that he was with know exactly what happened to Nolan. Why are y'all not asking them? Right? This doesn't make sense to me. This sounds very fishy. Right? Nolan's mother confirms that the body was found earlier today was her son after he went missing on July 4th near Horn Island, Mississippi during a trip with friends. This is his mother. She said, I want to thank our family, friends, community, the United Navy, local law enforcement, everyone involved for all of the love, support, resources over the last few days. His father, our family, friends, we are absolutely devastated. My heart broken for my sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. I ask that you please give me and my family time to grieve. Man, this is sad. This is sad, family. This doesn't make sense to me. But we already know what this is, family. We're not dumb. We're not dumb. Those three white boys know exactly what happened to Nolan.
Yeah. And these parents think they're doing their children some justice by moving them out in HOAs amongst white people and taking them from black. Come on, man. You're safer where you are. You're safer around your own people. The numbers tell you that. History tell you that. Shit, their method of operation should tell you that. You know, we could talk about what shouldn't happen, but this happens. And Justin, I appreciate your comment, but we know it happens. We have to just face, man. Look, man, there is a problem in your culture, Justin. I'm not attacking you. I'm not saying that you are one of those people, okay? Because you're not. You're not. But the problem is with your people, is what I'm saying. The problem is with your people. Because black people don't do this. I went out with my white friends all the time, and I'd be damned if my white brothers don't make it back with me. We out here as brothers. If I'm going down swinging, you going down swinging, we all going down swinging. You gonna return safely with us. You gonna be all right. You understand what I'm saying? Your race don't mean nothing. It's the fact that we out here together. We left together. We sure as hell finna return together. We sure as hell finna return together. I'm not finna return without you and have your cell phone and then say, well, I don't know what happened. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nah. And the government and the local authorities won't let a black person say, well, we don't know what happened. We'll still be locked up for questioning. Huh? We still be locked up right now for interrogation and questioning right now. Had that been three black people and with one white guy, that white guy was missing. Okay, okay. Well, they'll be setting up crime tape in the ocean, boy. They'll have yellow tape out there in the ocean, boy. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because these boys came back with Nolan's phone, but Nolan wasn't with them. Make that make sense. How did these three boys come back to shore with Nolan's phone without Nolan?
and they don't know what happened, so Nolan just magically disappeared? Why are these three are not suspects in this case?
At Capital Group, we design our active ETFs to weather the ups and downs of the market, so they can be rooted at the core of the portfolio. They're meticulously crafted to endure.
This is definitely a two-tier justice system. This is definitely a two-tier justice system, ladies and gentlemen. It's blatant. They don't even hide it anymore.
These should be suspects. We need to stop saying friends. We should say three suspects in this case. Because every time I see a case like this or a story like this, when it's one black person around all these white people, somehow the black person ended up disappearing somewhere, falling over a balcony, lynched from a tree. This doesn't even make sense to me. But salute to the family, salute to the chat. We are back in the building, family. We are back. We are back and we are cooking. Salute to you guys. All right, so
tell me about your son.
Here we go with these people. I don't even want to see them no more. I'm sick of seeing them.
WLOX News Now Midday starts with breaking news.
Breaking news, a body has been found on Horn Island near where missing 18-year-old Nolan Wells went missing. Search crews like this one you see here in the air have been searching for him for more than 40 hours now. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Brandy McGill. Will Polston has been on the scene at a command post in Jackson County all morning as they search, and he now joins us live. Good morning to you, Will.
Hey, good morning, bro.
That man was a sacrifice. Here's a sacrifice. They knew what they were going to do to that man before that boat even left it down. Before they left on July 4th. They knew by July 3rd. Hell, they probably knew by the end of June. That's why they invited him. You know what I mean? This is how these people think, man. This is how these people think. Hey, we got something we want to do. Hey, can we invite us a black guy? We got to find a black guy. We saw the movie Get Out, man. We know how this goes. They're always going to invite a vulnerable little black guy that don't realize that he's a target. He think he's fitting in. He trusts us. He loves us. We can get him. We can fool him. And they're going to go in. They're going to go in. And that's what they do. And y'all continue to trust it. Not me. Not me. I'm going to call a spade all day. You know what I mean? I'm going to call a spade all day. I don't care who feelings get hurt. The truth hurts. And this is the truth about these people. We don't do this. We don't get down like this. We love everyone. We don't think like this. We don't wake up every day. No. But they do. They do. And black people, if y'all don't start suiting up, if y'all don't start meeting this with an eye for, an eye for an eye type of understanding, there's going to be a lot more of this happening. And you don't know when it's going to be your child and or you. These people are running rampant. The sun got them hot and bothered. You know what I'm saying? And they are just crazy right now.
Andy, we got word here just at about 8:45 that there was a body found on Horn Island, and the officials are now working on bringing that back. Now, as of right now, we do not have an identity of the body that was found, but I can confirm that Nolan Wells' family is here at the Lake Mars boat launch. Now, they've asked us not to show the camera in that direction right now of the family grieving. There is quite a bit of family and friends here from Nolan's family. But like I said, we do not have identity as of right now. Sheriff Ledbetter did confirm that a park ranger ended up finding the body that was found, and the coroner was here earlier and has since left. They left right at about 10 o'clock, just after 10 a.m., waiting on getting official confirmation on the identity, cause of death, and everything else in between.
Bro,
of course,
this is
as we find
crazy,
out
bro.
more information, we're going to be updating you on our website at WLOX.com. But as of right now, a really somber.
That man was set up, man. He was set up, man. He was set up, man. That was a setup. His white friend set him up. And I'm telling y'all, he was around a bunch of people, man. If y'all go to the Gentleman's Den on YouTube, they're going to be showing you how many people was actually around. Go to Gentleman's Den, which is what I'm playing right now, was Nolan Wells set up by his white friends. You can actually see it. You know, I should have went live to my laptop so I could show it to you, but the algorithm ain't too good when we go by the laptop. It works better by phone, which is not doing too good right now either, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a setup. That was clapback right there, man. That was clapback. I'm telling you. That was clapback.
Scene as the family all gathered around, hugging and trying to enjoy each other's company during a somber time.
Bro, this
Still
is
waiting to
sad,
find
bro.
out the official identification of the body found, though. Reporting live in Jackson County, Will Bolson, WLOX News Now.
And that damn holiday ain't got nothing to do with us. See, that's what I'm saying. Parents, if y'all just tell y'all children the truth, this man would be alive. Tell him July 4th, 1776, America still hated black people and we were slaves. Why is he out here celebrating with these crazy enraged
Have you
ass
ever
white
seen a
people,
product
man?
that transforms
Why?
any ordinary space into
You're
a
out
dream?
here celebrating with the colonizer. You're out here celebrating with the very people who, how? That holiday has no relevance to black people. None. A lot of these holidays don't. None.
Me underwater world in just 1 second.
This is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Well, thank you so much for that. So Nolan Wells, he's also a football player at Southwest Mississippi Community College, SMCC, also putting out a statement asking their community to pray for his.
Bro, those three demons know exactly what happened to Nolan, bro. You're not finna tell me nothing else. Those three demons that went out on their boat trip with Nolan and didn't return with him, didn't know police, they didn't notify authorities, they didn't call Nolan's parents or nothing. They just showed back up with Nolan not with them. And it took them people 2 days to find Nolan. And let me guess, it was a suicide. Let me guess. You know what they like to say when
they gonna say he drowned just cause he's black. They gonna say he drowned. They're going to say he drowned. I'm telling you, this is easy. They are going to say that this young man drowned. That's all they got. That's all they got.
Black people wind up missing when they're around a group of black people. It was just a story not too long ago, family, of this black boy was in the middle of a lake with some white people. They left him in there because they knew he couldn't swim. They was laughing at him. So another white family.
That's what I'm saying. It's crazy how if you're around my age, we grew up in a more racist era, but yet the people wasn't as racist towards each other. Like we actually bonded. No matter if you were black or white or what, man, we bonded. Like Uncle Mahmoud that come through here. That's my best friend. That's my brother since third grade, man. Since third grade, we moved back in town, and my mom put me in that elementary school. You know, and they introduced me as the new kid in class, and she was like, "Sit wherever you want to sit." And Matt stood up out of all people. Matt stood up. Ooh, come back here, come back here, come back here, come back. Matt didn't see color. And look at us now. Ever since third grade. And I'll fight for my brother. I'd be damned if Matt don't return from this damn trip with me. You understand what I'm saying? But now, these YT people of today are more racist. They're more vengeful. They're more soulless. That wasn't the white people of yesterday that we were cool with. Because those same white people are telling these racist white people right now what y'all just did in Nolan was fucked up. Real talk, man. Real talk.
Had to come pull him to shore, put him on a boat because they left him out there laughing at him because he couldn't swim. This is so dangerous. Like, you have to be careful who you surround yourself around. Like, if you the only person in a all-white friend group, bro, it is not going. That's a red flag. I'm not saying that you can't have white friends. I'm not saying that, you can't be cool with white people. I'm not saying none of that. But we seeing too many stories of these black people disappearing with their white friend group. And these people just come back to shore without Nolan, with his cell phone. But they out here, the news talking about if anybody got any information on what happened, they know exactly what happened. What the fuck do you mean?
Word.
They know what happened to Nolan.
Word.
If I go out of town somewhere with my friend, if we go anywhere, we are going to keep a head count on everybody. Hey, what's so-and-so at? They went to the restroom. Are we going to wait on them? We all got to move as one, as a unit. We're not finna go fly somewhere or go on a boat trip and we come back and everybody ain't accounted for. They don't even make sense.
Exactly. Ain't no sense in going together if you're going to separate. There's no sense in going together if you are going to separate. So that is the truth. That is the truth.
Especially with black people. Yeah, what's the name at? Oh, he in the bathroom. We're gonna wait on him to get back on the boat. We don't just come back and just leave somebody where they was at and then come to find out they dead. What the fuck is this shit?
I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand parents leaving babies in these hot ass cars. How the hell you forget the baby in the damn car? I don't understand that. I don't understand it. This is the same type of situation to me. I don't understand it. They knew what was going on. They knew what he was. They kept a straight face. They lied. Were they even crying, heartbroken, remorseful? Any of that? Any of that? Did they show any emotions? No one smelled the alcohol on their breath?
Rasmussen University did a very good job preparing us for how Excel.
Why would you want to be the only black person in the whole group? How could you feel comfortable? I'd be cringing. I would be cringing. There's just no way I would feel comfortable being the only black person in that group. I cannot be the only raisin in this potato salad. This can't happen.
Man, this is sad, bro. This is sad. This is really sad. Every other day we heard a story about a black person winding up missing around a group of white people, bro.
Nolan Xavier Wells, there has been a body found near Horn Island. Authorities have not yet confirmed if it is him or not. They will need to confirm that with the coroner's office. This is very sad. I can't see how it's not him.
It's him.
Because then we have a whole nother potential crime on our hands if it's another body. I think there needs to be a full investigation. I think his friends have to answer for what happened. I don't see how you could possibly.
This was clapback, man. I'm telling y'all, this was them getting even for Austin Metcalf and for what that sister just did down there in Fort Lauderdale at that Walmart store. They saw an opportunity to get even, and okay, okay. We don't think like this, but their culture does. Their culture does. I'm telling you. We don't think like that, but their culture does. Their culture, the history is there. The history is there. The history cannot be denied. The writing's all over the wall.
Be on a boat, something so small, and with just 3 other friends or whatnot, and nobody knows anything. Now they're saying he went off with a girl or whatnot or something like that, and it's like, well, who is this girl? Where is she? His cell phone was recovered or was on the boat, so who?
And he dated white women. Understand that this young brother forgot he was a brother. This young brother forgot he was a brother. Everything he did was white. It was Eurocentric. These people not finna have you in these HOA communities, you know what I'm saying, with your black ass humping on these young white girls that these young white jocks want. That like, now we gotta compete with the BBC. This is too much. I'm telling you, these people think like this, man. It's sad, but it's true. I tell you what, you keep underestimating your opponent. You keep underestimating your opponent. You will be the one that they get the best of. They won't get the best of me because I don't put nothing past them. Nothing. Was it Mississippi Wonder? Yeah, they were. I don't put nothing past them at all.
Who goes anywhere without their phone these days? There's just so many unanswered questions that need to be answered. Please pray for his family. Secret Service, Sam out, Sam.
Yeah, bro, this is sad, bro. Nolan was 18 years old, football star. On his way to make something of himself. He go on a boat trip with a bunch of white dudes. They dragging his body out the water. The mother already came out and confirmed that's her son. And again, I want to give my condolences to this family. Rest in peace to Nolan, bro. This is a sad case. We see stories like this all the time. These type of stories don't get national news. If we don't talk about it, family, if we don't cover stories like this, nobody will give a damn about Nolan. We have to shine the light on Nolan and speak about this. And parents got to be careful who you're allowing your children to hang around. Y'all move to these communities with these YT people and y'all think y'all safe because y'all surrounded with these people. These people have evil intentions. They play like they cool. They act like they like black people.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hit that like button. Let's bring more people into the conversation. Let's hit that like button. This gives me a broader perimeter in the algorithm. You know, if you hit that like button, it pushes the content. It pushes the content.
But they don't defend you. They don't come to your aid. Them 3 boys came back to shore and didn't even call Nolan's mother. How you gonna come back to shore from a boat trip and not call his mother? You got Nolan's phone, but you ain't contact the mother, authorities. Where's this girl at? If he left with the female, we need to ask the female, hey, what the hell happened to Nolan? This should be simple, family. This investigation should be, they should investigate this in 24 hours. Ask those 3 white boys what happened to Nolan. Ask the girl who was with him What happened to Nolan? How is they pulling his body out of the lake? How?
Hey, if money is tight right now and you need some help to pay some bills, maybe your car payment, late rent, groceries to put on the table so you and your family can eat, I'm serious. This,
in my opinion, allegedly, I believe that they unalive Nolan. I believe they unalive Nolan because we know how these white boys get when they get their little token black friend and they did something extreme and they threw him overboard. And they was hoping that nobody find the body. That's what I believe. I believe they unalive Nolan doing some crazy shit because they always like to use their token black as a target, and they threw him overboard. That's what I believe, family. That's honestly what I believe, because ain't no way in hell these guys show up back to shore without Nolan and don't notify nobody.
Exactly.
They found Nolan Wells, his body, y'all. This is an update. By looking at the picture, you could pretty much.
How do you not question the 3 people that he was last seen leaving with when those 3 people come back without him? How? Fellas, if we were a woman and that female is last seen leaving with us on their date, and we come back from that date and that female cannot be found, are we going to get away with I don't know and be able to hand them their cell phone and go about the day? Is it going to be that easy for us? Y'all already know the answer. So how did these 3 individuals get this entitlement? Exactly. Exactly. But they gonna hold your ass in jail, interrogating you. No, you was the last one she was saw with. They gonna be checking your house while they holding you. They're gonna be executing all kind of search warrants. You know what I mean? This is crazy right here. This is crazy. Those 3 kids should have been in the police station. Yes. Yes. And you know, come on, y'all know white people savvy in these boats, man. They know those waterways like highways, man. They know those waterways like highways, man. They were gonna find their way back regardless. They were gonna be okay. They were gonna be okay. They wanted to lure him out there where they thought that, you know, they can get rid of his body easily. You know, they want to get rid of his body easily. This is, come on, man. This is, man. Somebody just would have reminded this young brother he was black, man. If somebody just would have reminded this young brother he was black, man. Golly, man. Y'all think about it, man. Y'all know these people was angry about Austin Metcalf. Y'all know they pissed about what happened down there in Northern Broward. We were at that Walmart. Y'all know they pissed. Y'all know they pissed. They done saw 2 black people unalive, 2 white. They pissed. This was clapback. I'm telling y'all. This was clapback right here. This right here was sent as a message. That brother was allegedly a sacrifice. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man.
Fill in the blanks, but let me catch y'all up on this story. Wells was last seen during the afternoon of Saturday, July 4th, as he was celebrating the holiday with friends on the Mississippi Coast Barrier Island. He went missing. According to his friends, they didn't give really specific details. They just say he got separated, was talking to a group of girls or something like that. His mother also added that, you know, his phone wasn't located on him, so they couldn't use the phone to locate him. So
they took his phone from him so that he couldn't call nobody, record nothing. That's why they had his phone. They took the phone from him. Come on, the phone didn't fall in the water. No nothing. The phone has no water damage. It's perfectly fine. Was someone holding his phone for him on the shore while he was in the water with his 3 white friends? They wrestled that phone away from him. Nothing's recorded. If anything was recorded, I'm pretty sure they probably done went in there and erased. All right, man. Y'all give these people too much goddamn credit. Y'all give them too much damn credit. They're showing you how goddamn racist they are. Y'all see the stuff they doing. You see the two-tier justice system. You see what these racist judges do, the racist police, the prosecutors, defense attorneys. Y'all see it. And y'all still want to call a spade a spade? Okay, well, you know, be my guest. Be my guest.
Strange reason, a young adult, an 18-year-old, was separated from his phone. But a park ranger reportedly found Wells' body at the northwest end of Horn Island around 8:45 a.m. Monday. And Horn Island is not like a commercial island. You need a private boat to get there. But his mom did confirm that that was her son's body. His mother, Christine, confirmed her son's death on Facebook Monday afternoon, writing, "I want to thank our family, friends, community, United Cajun Navy, local law enforcement, and everyone involved for all the love, support, resources over the."
See, she don't sound like she loved her son much. I'm sorry to say that. Because I would have been calling for the police to arrest them 3 motherfucking degenerates. Hell no. I can thank everybody later. Thank you for locking their white asses up. I think y'all need to talk to them. I think they know something. I'm not giving all that thanks that my baby was pulled out of here unalive and left with y'all 3 and y'all came back alive with his phone. Hell no. I'll thank y'all after y'all lock their white asses up. I would thank y'all after y'all lock their white asses up. That's what I do. Hell no. Hell no.
Last few days, his father, our family, friends, and I are absolutely devastated. My heart broken for my sweet son who was always willing to cheer and uplift others. Nolan was a special soul. God took his time creating our son. I ask that you please give me and my family time to grieve. I know there's a lot of questions, unanswered questions.
Absolutely, it is.
Do further investigation and
Hell
gather
yeah.
more details because this just seems too suspicious. Like, how come Nolan was the only one that didn't return?
That's what I'm saying. Nolan was the only one. Everybody else returned except Nolan. Really? Nope.
And there was no signs of struggling on anyone. There was no blood, no scars on anyone's hands, no scratches, no skin up under the DNA of the fingernails, no DNA. I'm saying something, man. Something, man. God dang. Like, they finna sweep this under the rug too, man. They finna sweep this under the rug too. This was definitely clapback, man. I'm telling you. They're gonna be making memes about this, so y'all get ready. And I ain't saying go out here and get mad because, we make memes, we pick at them, they're gonna do the same thing to us, and this is not even a laughing matter right here. This was definitely a setup. This was definitely a setup. You know what I'm saying? And they just marched, and think about it, all these white men just marched on DC on July 4th, and this young brother came up missing on July 4th while hanging out with a bunch of white people. White people are just marching. That is true. That is true. Well, he was in the water with all of them and stuff. There's videos of him in the water and everything, hanging out in the water. They all got him surrounded in the water. The same thing I'm playing right now has the videos on it.
Nobody know nothing. They just pulling Nolan body out of the lake. Nobody know nothing. This investigation shouldn't even take long. But I guarantee you, they gonna say that this was a freak incident or this was a self-deletion. Because those 3 white boys and that girl are suspects. How is they not viewing these people as suspects? How y'all go on a boat trip and come back without Nolan? Everybody else came back except Nolan. They dragging Nolan body out the lake. Nobody got no answers, no nothing. Everybody looking stupid. The news network talk about it. If anybody's seen anything, please come forward. Don't be afraid of consequences. You don't need to ask nobody else but the people that was on the boat with Nolan. They had eyes on Nolan. They had Nolan's cellular device. They got his phone.
Who here's gonna reach out to? Who here's gonna call for help? What struggle he is gonna record? What video proof he is gonna have? They have his phone. He's out there on an island, literally on an island now because he don't have his phone. And he's surrounded by a bunch of white people who's potentially trying to allegedly hurt him. What are you gonna do? Swim back across the ocean? You know, he's screwed. He's screwed. Trying to trust these people, man. Trying to trust these people. Smiling in their damn face, thinking that they are your damn friend. And they have always been your enemy. Not all, some. Ain't no way I'm hanging out with white people on July 4th. Not like that. As rowdy as white people get, and with the racial tensions in this country right now, and y'all just saw these white supremacists march in Washington, you know what I'm saying? With the hell no. Hell no. It ain't happening. It ain't happening.
White boys know exactly what happened to Nolan if they didn't participate in his unaliving. That's what I believe. This is crazy, bro. This don't even make sense. This is Nolan. He remind me of Carmelo Anthony. Hanging around all these white people. Look at him hanging around all these white people, bro. And I'm not saying you can't hang around, but you got to be careful around these people. You got to be very, very cautious because these people do not care about your well-being. These people left Nolan out there to die. This young kid will remind me of Carmelo Anthony. Life just gone. Nobody got no answers. No answers.
Yeah, I don't hate white people either. But with the racial tensions in this country right now, you even catch me hanging with all them, hell no. Because I don't know how all them feel. Hell no. I know they feel the opposite of me when it comes to reparations, Carmelo Anthony, what happened in Broward, and this case, they all feel the opposite of me. I don't need to be hanging out with hell no. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Y'all see how they come in here trolling us? Ain't no way. Hell no.
And we supposed to believe that what? What, he just fell overboard? That's what we supposed to believe?
All right, y'all. So let's talk about Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells is the 18-year-old young man from Mississippi who has been missing since July 4th.
Salute, family. Salute to the family. Salute to the chat. While you guys coming on in, make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Salute to my channel members. I am so glad to see you guys on this evening. This case right here, bro, is so goddamn sad. So sad. And it's clear as day what happened.
Yes, it is. Yes, it
but they're
is.
gonna rule it a self-deletion. They're gonna rule it a freak.
We already know what they're gonna do. And truthfully, it's getting me more pissed as I talk about this, y'all. You know. And I'm gonna just go ahead and wrap this one up. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. I appreciate y'all, but for somehow the numbers aren't there tonight, and the numbers should definitely be there with this one. We should have way more people in here, way more likes than this. Um, you know, this is just these are the woes of social media. All right, these are the woes of social media. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, y'all go over to the Gentleman's Den on YouTube. Go subscribe. This video is called "Was Nolan Wells Set Up by His White Friends?" Okay, I believe he was. I believe allegedly that this is an answer to and for the life loss of Austin Metcalf by the hands of Black Carmelo Anthony. You know, and I think that this is an answer to what we saw in Broward County at that Walmart, you know, parking lot. So y'all know what to do, man. Y'all, man. Listen, man, read the room, ladies and gentlemen. Read the room. Y'all stop trusting everybody like they are your friends, man. It's all right to be around your own people or just stay home by your damn self. Those are the only choices you have with how high the racial tensions are in this country right now. I want to see everybody survive. I don't want to see anyone burying their kids or any of this because we underestimated our opponent and our enemy and our oppressor. All right, it's not all of them; it is some of them. But y'all know what Muhammad Ali said about them 10,000 rattlesnakes. Y'all know what he said, man. Y'all know what to do, man. Bless up. Ashe. There you go. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. That's what it is. Got to start returning that energy, man. Got to start returning that energy. I'm telling you. I only be around those around my age or older because most were raised like us. Right, 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 right. Nowadays, these people are weird and they are racist. They are radical as hell, man. They are radical as hell, man. Salute to all, man. I say.